There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Crypto. Sorry, I was going to do the intro. Hello, welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. I'm Brogan, and I am with Michael Fitzgerald.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is Thursday. It's 11 o'clock Central European, 10 a.m. in the UK, and probably a lot later wherever you are. As Brogan has eloquently said, I am Mike. He is, of course, Hollywood. He's not Brogan. He is Hollywood. We all know him as Hollywood. We don't know him as Brogan. Brogan is not his stage name. It's Hollywood. Or
What's your stage name?
I haven't got a stage name.
Oh, I know you do. You do. I just wanted you to say it.
Why?
Yeah.
No. So on today's show, we have a couple of new things, as we always do. We're going to take a look at the charts. We're then going to do I wouldn't say it was a deep dive, but we're going to do a project overview on Gala Games and its token Gala. So make sure you watch that. After that, we're going to take a look at stablecoin dominance. Something that's mentioned an awful lot, but I think a lot of people don't understand the significance of it. So we're going to take a look at stablecoin dominance. And then after that, we've got some articles. Cathy Wood, is she high? We don't know. We have some news about how to avoid scams. We then have, and I hope you are all sitting comfortably for this. I don't know if I can say this with a straight face. Brogan, yes, Hollywood, is going to do the quiz. Now, I can hear the cheers around the world at the thought of Brogan doing the quiz. I've gone through the quiz. It's a good quiz. For a first effort, it's 10 out of 10.
I was supposed to. You gave me like 2 hours to do it before you were going to sleep, and I did it within the last day. And I was like, "You need to get this out." But I tried to think of questions we haven't done before. I try to be a bit inventive with it, so I feel like it's going to be a breath of fresh air for the people who love to do the quizzes.
And I will give one bit of advice to Adil, who I hope is watching. I don't believe any of the answers are BNB.
I mean, there might be something.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. While Brogan's doing that, a quick recap of where Bitcoin is. I said on Tuesday, whenever we had the pump, we needed to stay above 27,700 to maintain momentum. We haven't. We've come down to 27.4. Now we're at 27.2. I think 26.8 is next on the cards. And if we lose that, we're still on for 20 to 24,000. So we're not out of the woods yet. We need a little bit more hopium and good news to push us back up. But if we hold 27.2, you never know. You never know. I'm still saying 32,000 by the end of the year. What are you saying, Brogan?
Yeah.
Wherever you're watching, by the way, leave a comment in chat. Where do you think Bitcoin is going to be on December the 31st? Are we going to be 25, 30, 35, 40? Let us know in the chat, wherever you are, and we will read out some of the predictions.
Yeah, I don't give predictions. I let the charts speak for themselves. So, when I see do TA, and then that's what you have to do. Just do TA. You don't need it. Oh, I'll work it's going to be this. No, I'm never going to say that.
So, should we have a look at the markets?
Yeah, let me just get it up then.
Do I need to send you a link to somewhere else? Also, we also have a special. We have a competition, but it's only a competition for certain people on a certain platform. So what you need to do is you need to drop your user ID into chat right now, and we will enter you into the competition, the Crazy Friday competition, which I believe closes at 2 a.m. So 2 a.m. tomorrow morning it closes. So if you're on a certain platform, which Brogan is going to leave a message on right now, you need to put your user ID in there. And then secondly, you need to follow us, because we are going to enter you into a competition where you can win prizes. And that's as generic a comment as I can make. Not signed in? Right. Do me a favour. Are you...
Mute.
No, we'll go. I'll tell you what we'll do. After at the end of the articles, before we do the quiz, we'll have a 2-minute interlude and we'll sign you in.
Of course.
So let's have a look at the markets first.
Say hello to everyone before we go straddling onto the markets. Hello, Elian. I see you back, Toy Box.
Good morning, Toy Box.
Actually, I forgot about this. Everyone's broken now. No one is anyone else.
No, we've done that.
I haven't.
Say how. Yeah, Toy Box was here yesterday. Nice to see Toy Box. Also, somebody left us a very big tip yesterday, and it's greatly appreciated because that's paid for the quiz for the next week, I would say.
Although a certain group of people just absolutely nabbed like a chunk of it before we even got anywhere near us.
Well, thank you anyway for it. I don't know your name, otherwise I would thank you in person. Thank you for the tips, greatly appreciated. And before Brogan starts, one last thing. Make sure, hit the follow button, the like button, the love heart button, whatever buttons you can press on your screen apart from close stream. Press all of those buttons while Brogan is going through the charts. It will help us grow as a channel and it will help you stay connected to us. So without further ado, Hollywood is going to tell us what's in the charts.
Maker. Who they are? 4.42%.
Hang on.
Do you want to do dominance?
I don't know what are you talking about.
I'm talking about the highs. Okay, I'll do the dominance. 48.9% not moved. 18.9% Bitcoin, Ethereum. Not a single thing's happened there. 24-hour volume 32 billion.
Okay.
Down 40%. And market cap 1.09 trillion. Again, since the last time I read it,
it's dropped a bit.
Yeah, but when I read it, it probably went up and came back down.
Probably.
But, yeah.
So, and now you're going to tell us the 24-hour gainers.
Yeah, so we've got Maker.
Okay, Maker down.
Mantle, Dogecoin. There's not really money winners. It's or even to have the one is.
Who's losing today?
Asta, 8%.
Anything?
Synthetics, Solana, Gala.
That's the second time that's happened.
These are the ones we're about to do.
We covered Sui on Monday. Sui dropped 8% before the stream, may I add.
Also dropped 3% now. And
it's also dropped 3% now. So what we've done, we've actually stopped the fall by a good 50%. We're inverse Kramer.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're like the
we're inverse Kramer. So
don't listen to us.
we're going to look at Gala, and that's next, isn't it? That's coming up first. Yeah. Anything else in the charts you want to make mention to? What's Bitcoin at? 27,250.
Oops. Hold on. Big number. 27.2.
Oh, we're gonna come down again. We're gonna go to 26.8. It's on the cards.
Bitcoin though, with Fibonacci, it's beautiful. If you want to look at something beautiful for free, it's like the Mona Lisa, but you don't have to fly to France and all that.
It's stunning.
Just look at Fibonacci on Bitcoin. It's beautiful.
The fib levels of Bitcoin are textbook at this moment in time, and the targets sit perfectly with the value area high, the value area low. It's a perfect setup. But we're not talking about Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to update the menu. We are going to move on to
Gala.
Gala. The Gala games. Token and Gala games.
Right.
Let me...
I'm a little bit more prepared today, though, unlike last time with the last project we did, which was Sui.
Let me update the menu. You know what the problem is? And one thing I'm going to try and avoid is because there's so many little things that need to be done on the mobile phone, I'm forever staring down. I need to try and do less on the mobile phone.
Yep.
Do more. I'm just updating the menu. So we're going to look at Gala games. Now, hopefully, I'm going to ask a few questions of you.
Someone said 9K, I assume is in reference to the Bitcoin comment. Someone said, Elian said 32K. Yep. And someone else said 9K. Pessimistic, it seems like, but, you know, it's a guess. No one could be right or wrong. But let's get on to Gala before we waste any more time and someone gets mad at me in the corner. Are you ready?
I'm gonna get mad at you. I'm not mad at you. So what I'm gonna ask you is, so the first thing we need to do, explain what Gala games is.
Yep.
Show us some examples of Gala games. Maybe highlight one of the games.
Yeah.
We've already gone through this. This is what we're going to do. Then we're going to take a look at CoinMarketCap, have a quick look at the tokenomics, all-time high, circulating supply, and then we're going to finish with our price predictions for Gala, which, given the fact it's already down, what percent today?
Ridiculous amount.
6% today.
Yeah.
So, given our price predictions,
4%.
those are slightly juicier price predictions than they were when I did this last night. So, without further ado, Brogan, Gala Games. Now, I just want to say one thing. Gala Games, where I come from, Gala Games, where I come from in the north of England, they do bingo.
Yep.
And it's normally old ladies with
terrible adverts on old ladies.
Blue rinse haircuts, drinking sherry at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, shouting house. That's the kind of Gala Games that I grew up with. My gran used to play bingo in Gala Games. That was about 30 years ago. So, is this the same Gala Games?
Not at all.
Take it away.
Not at all, no. Okay, so we're going to go through, like I said, we're going to go through the about now. So we're kind of going to read this together. I'm not going to read every single thing because waste everyone's time. So we're kind of get into what they say it is, give comments on it, and then get into the games. So, making blockchain games you'll actually want to play. So, principles, fun first. We believe the blockchain should be invisible to our games. Completely agree with that. If you want mass adoption, you want to have as little technical aspects to it as possible.
Yep.
You know, for the techies and not techies, a less technical system just helps everybody. So I agree with that. Yeah, fun first. Obviously, a game should be fun. You shouldn't be playing it for any other reason. Own by players. Players get to truly own what they win in our games. If you earn or win a magical sword on the Gala game platform, it is yours. The basic concept of NFTs.
Gamer NFT ownership.
Yep.
So they're 2 for 2 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I mean, obviously, I want to say this is pretty standard what it should be, but at the same time, you know...
Not everything in the world is created equally,
games.
is it? No, totally agree.
Community rules. We don't develop games in a vacuum. We constantly engage and test assumptions with our Discord community. Very important. You want to have a project which likes to talk to its community, see what they want, because, you know, what's a better way of growing? I mean, it's quite simple. What's a better way of growing, you know, a product and improve it for the customers? Speak to the customers. So, you know, it's very good that they're doing that. Partnered by the people. Everything within Gala Games Network depends on player-owned node ecosystem. How much was it, did you say, it was to own node?
We're going to have a quick look at it in a minute. But to operate a Gala node is 5 million Gala, which I worked out at about $60,000, and you will run your own node. Nodes aren't cheap. Back in the day when I started, you could get you could set up a node on different blockchains for $2,000 or $4,000. Not anymore. We looked at Sui, didn't we? And that was like $15 million to run a node. Gala Games, which we're going to have a little look at that one. I think the link's in there. We're going to have a look at it, but I think it's about $50,000.
Okay. Checking the platforms. Yeah, okay. More than 16,000 player-run nodes power our ecosystem. That's pretty powerful. Pretty decentralized. Good to see. If I could scroll down, it'd be great.
It always does that.
The whole browser's frozen.
Yeah, it does that. So just to cover off a few other things that aren't mentioned in there, this is on the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah.
Gala sits on Ethereum. I obviously have reservations about any token sitting on Ethereum. I think it's an expensive chain to sit on. The better solution would have been to run it off a different chain.
Yeah.
So Wax, for example, which is a lesser heard of chain,
like
gaming.
I'm not even the same as bad as in like it costs.
Exactly. Solana as well, also a cheap blockchain to run off. The issue, of course, is liquidity. Ethereum's got all the liquidity, all the cash is there. Back yet?
Yeah, it's back.
Okay.
16,000 nodes. It's just trying to emphasize it's decentralized, which
okay.
Glad it has done. So I feel like we should move on to the games now.
Let's have a look at the games.
So I'm not going to look at these because we're just going to look at one.
Lots of games. The other thing to mention now we're looking at this is, of course, they mentioned not building in isolation, but they also allow games to plug the blockchain in, don't they?
Yeah.
It's not just games built on blockchain.
No.
It's games that already, like Angry Birds, already exists.
Yeah.
But you are adding the blockchain technology to existing games. So it kind of gives them two markets, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's if you want to adopt something and like crypto, for example, I mean, this is obviously it's a niche thing, but this is the case of where you have like a development kit which game creators can use to incorporate the blockchain technology quite easily. It's great to see that because the whole untapped market are the entirety of games that's already been developed or are in current development, and people don't want to restructure the entire game just to fit something in.
Yeah.
Whether it be substantial or not, being blockchain, you don't want to have to reprogram everything. So it's nice to see that they've got a system where you can plug it into games, because I'm pretty sure it's quite, all you have to do is like plug in the whatever it is they give you, and then just attach it to your storefront, and then there you go.
Yeah.
You kind of are done. Obviously, depending on how big the game is, it depends, but it's great to see that they thought about every sort of like sub-market in gaming.
Yeah.
But we'll play this for a bit.
Which game are we looking at?
Walking Dead Empires.
We're not going to play any sound though, are we?
That does no sound.
Because I'm always being copyright struck.
Yeah. And from the photos which we've seen and a bit of the video, I don't really think the video shows much gameplay. I'm not too sure. It's kind of like, I think I mentioned it saying something like Diablo, but with zombies.
Diablo zombies. The thing is, I'm a massive zombie fan.
Yeah, I'm going with zombie game.
And so I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. Just dropping a box, by the way.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of zombies. I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, 28 Days Later, and all those kind of things. So, big fan of them. When something like this happens, I'm happy. Now, as far as I'm aware, this game was developed outside of Gala Games and then integrated Gala Games. That's how I remember it, because it's been on the cards for a while. We're talking at least middle of last year.
Yeah, and what's good to see is it's got the IP of Walking Dead. So obviously completely partnered with Walking Dead. Otherwise it would be illegal. So it's Gala, it's like similar with like Decentraland, Land, whatever it's called, and Sandbox and stuff, where they're big. They're just like an ecosystem of development, and there's a ton of like different things, like celebrities partnering with them or brands partnering with them to provide different things, and it's good to see, because you kind of have like. When you have a project where you can build upon, it's not just a raw cryptocurrency. You can have sponsorships and partnerships. It's good to see, and when you see partnerships like this, like The Walking Dead, you know that there's something good going on. So.
Absolutely. Right. So in terms of then, one other thing we've not mentioned yet. This is not sponsored. We are not paid by Gala Games. We're not paid to review this project. We look at projects we like. We look at the ones we've looked at in the last few weeks. We've looked at Dogecoin, we've looked at Sui, Gala. So we look at lots of different coins. Nobody's paying us to be here and do this. So I just want to put that out there. And also, full disclosure, I don't own any Gala tokens, and I don't believe Brogan owns any Gala tokens. This is a fully independent review.
Pockets are too dry to earn this.
Sorry?
Pockets are too dry to earn any of this.
He's poor.
Yeah.
So, tokenomics. What's the circulating supply? What's the all-time high? What price are we at now? The usual things.
Circulating supply 46.49%. So that's about 23.3 billion. Gala. Max supply. Okay, total supply. Okay, that's pretty good. So total supply being about 26 billion. About
really?
26 billion. Yeah. So 25.688 billion.
So when I looked at circulating, are we on CoinMarketCap?
Yeah.
What does it say about total? Did it not say 43% for the circulating supply?
Yeah, about 46. I mean, there's max supply, total supply. So of what's not been made yet.
So they've made half of the tokens.
Yeah.
And 23 billion of the 25 billion is circulating.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's still room for them to grow.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, go back to back to the notes.
So the reason that's important, while Brogan's bringing the notes up, is if you buy a token and there is only a 10% circulating supply, there is a potential 9x increase in the supply of tokens, which is going to reduce the value of the token in your pocket potentially by up to 9%. So circulating supply is important to realize that Bitcoin, for example, it's 19.7 million total circulating supply at the minute. So they don't have a long way to go.
Yeah.
For their total supply. Ethereum is deflationary. So those tokens, BNB, for example, has a burn mechanism. So fixed supply, with full circulation is always better for the coins in your pocket than a coin that has a 10% circulating supply. Right, okay. What was the all-time high then?
It's quite a drastic graph.
Was it something ridiculous?
0.74 or 74 cents.
74 cents.
The graph should just look there. That's mental.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's what happens during a bull run. You have these huge blow-off tops.
I was going to say, I wonder what happened during then. Was it a news-based thing where they incorporated something large?
That was the bull run.
Everything carries along with Bitcoin.
Yeah, so when Bitcoin goes up and people take profits, you get the altcoin season because people buy the altcoins with their Bitcoin profit.
Yeah.
That shoots up the altcoins. Then there's a sell-off at that point, and then you enter the bear market. And then people sit on the sidelines for 2 years and wait for the next bull run. So the price was 74 cents. It's all-time high. What is it now? 2 cents?
Yeah.
We're at 2 cents. Anything else on there before we look at the trading view?
Market cap probably under 1 billion.
Yeah.
It's important to point out.
So bear in mind, if it's under 1 billion,
Movement.
It was 36 billion.
Yeah, was that during the big time?
Bull run, yeah. So I'm not saying, we're never going to say on this channel that something's going to do a 30 or a 40x. It's never going to happen. A lot of tokens that were at all-time highs in the last bull run will never see those all-time highs again. That's just reality. The ones that will see new all-time highs are the ones that have longevity. Yeah. Gala Games appears to me anyway to be a token that's going to be here in 5, 6, 10 years time.
Yeah, I mean, they've got these huge partnerships, and like they were kind of like the biggest dogs in terms of this area. Yeah. And it was inevitably going to happen in terms of trying to having an easy way to incorporate something. It just always happens for everything.
Yeah.
So, and they were kind of like the first to do it, biggest people. And I don't believe they're not just going to run off tomorrow. So, you know, like
they're not going to go anywhere.
They're not going anywhere.
So what are we looking at in terms of price action? What kind of price action have we got in the foreseeable future? What does TradingView say? I think I've done it. I think I've found us a sneaky bullish divergence, have I not?
Yes, you did. Yes.
I did find us bullish divergence. How about that?
So we will hopefully wait for it to load. Right, I gotta zoom out. Were you on like 4? Or were you on like a day when you did this?
I think it was on a day. Yeah.
It was already small. Hold on.
And it's difficult to do on a trackpad, I know.
Here we go. So we can see the movement. So, you know, bearish, it kind of goes like outwards. And then bullish goes inwards. So you can see by the lower lows and the higher lows of the RSI, you can see it doing this angulated mathematical positioning thing going on, which basically means it's going to go up. So there you go, guys.
What are the price targets I've put on there?
So we've got 2.7. Oh, is that
2.7 cents?
Right. Okay. 2.7 cents resistance.
Yeah.
4 cents target. Right. So basically, when it hits, I believe it'll be like this red point.
I think what's going to happen
where's the port of control thing on it? Is it disappeared?
It's there, but don't worry about finding everything now. We haven't got any time.
No, I'm not going to find it. But I'm just saying.
It's there. It is there. On the left-hand side somewhere. It doesn't matter. So, it is there somewhere. Maybe it's on a different timescale. The most important thing is that most altcoins that we're looking at the minute are at the very bottom of every chart, and the only way they can go at the minute is up. And I don't mean that we're all going to have an altcoin season. I'm not saying they don't bleed against Bitcoin. I'm not saying that we're going to see 10x's. What I mean is that the fundamental graphs, charts of Gala indicate that we should see some upside.
Yeah.
We've had another dip today, dropped 6%, which is only going to strengthen bullish divergence as far as I can see.
Isn't the general idea? Didn't you say is it? I'm pretty sure you prided yourself when you came up with this in terms of there's like pulling a balloon down water.
Well, it wasn't me that said that, but it's
what you said. I thought you said it.
Basically, if you have a bear that sits on a balloon and the bear pushes the balloon down and down and down, at some point that balloon is going to escape and rise to the surface again.
Yeah.
It can only be
And it'll
kept
bounce
down,
up.
and it will bounce
Yeah.
up. So my initial, what I would do is I would look to take profits at 2.5 cents.
Yeah, I was about to say, because like, obviously, I remember you discussed this yesterday about like, oh yeah, this point on the point of control, at this point. But I just did want to point out on the line when you're saying take profits at 0.25 or 2.5 cents, we can see there's value area low in this point. So 2% to 2.5% resistance there, and then you can see this big line here, which is 4 cents. So whenever it gets to these types of points, it normally bounces off because of how many orders are. So yeah,
Yep.
2.5 to 2.7%.
Yeah, so that should give 25% return, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Some people are calling for a $30,000 retest on Bitcoin. If we get that, coins like Gala are going to pump.
Yeah.
Most important thing is to remember that you never go broke taking profits. So if you do go and buy yourself a bag of Gala, buy it, but always set your sell orders, maybe 2.5 cents, maybe 3.7 cents, whatever it might be. Because at some point they're going to get triggered. You're going to take your profits. Compounding profits is the way that you make money, especially at this stage of the market.
Yep.
Shorting and longing Bitcoin is great, but remember that the whales are trying to liquidate everybody. They want to liquidate the shorters. They want to liquidate longs. They just want to liquidate everybody.
Yep.
So don't forget to take profits along the way. I sold some Solana the other day, and it was at $23, $24, something like that. Thinking I've sold it maybe at the wrong time because it's going to go up, and now we're back at $20. So, I've saved myself 20% there by taking profits. Yeah. That's the most important thing to do at this stage of the market. In a bull run, it's totally different. In a bull run, you have huge waves up with small retracements.
Yep.
We're not there yet. We're a good year away from that. So now we're going to look at something which nobody really ever talks about, and that is stablecoin dominance and why it's important. And the reason we mention this is that stablecoin dominance plays a really big role in seeing how much whales are moving around. So have you got an article or a graph on this? Or are you just we're going to talk about it?
I was going to put, we know the information. Unfortunately, there's nothing which talks about it anywhere, so we just have to say it.
Right, let me move on to stablecoin dominance. Right, so do you want me to give a brief overview of stablecoin dominate?
Sure.
So, currently, the entire crypto market is about, let's say, $1 trillion, for argument's sake. Stablecoin dominance is what percentage of that $1 trillion is held in stablecoins. USDC, USDT, PUSD, used to be BUSD, USD, whatever the new PayPal one is called, and everything else. Yeah, there's several of them now. What percentage of that $1 trillion is held in stablecoins? Now, if, for example, there is 10% and we have 100 billion in stablecoins, watching that graph over time will tell you whether whales are moving into or out of crypto. And that's a huge indication on where the markets are moving. Over time, we expect to see more and more stablecoins come into the market, play a bigger and bigger role in the market, but not necessarily in crypto, as PayPal, Circle, Tether are going to be using stablecoins for different purposes other than sitting on the sidelines and waiting for Bitcoin to retrace or buying into Bitcoin, whatever it might be. So there's a growing argument that you should look at the crypto market without stablecoin. So rather than giving Bitcoin dominance based on a trillion that includes 10% in stablecoins, you should look at the Bitcoin dominance based on the 900 billion of crypto without stablecoins. That's the first reason it's important. Secondly, stablecoin dominance, if it goes up, it's an indication that money is flowing out of crypto and into the sidelines, which is what stablecoins are. It's the sidelines. It's what people hold their money in when they're not sure what's going to happen, or they want to take profits on Bitcoin or wherever else it might be. Lastly, when stablecoin dominance drops, that's a massive indication that money is moving into crypto. There should be a higher buying pressure. So stablecoin dominance, which isn't ever really talked about, plays a really big role. It's like a miner bird. It tells you what's about to happen in the market, sometimes a few days before it happens. So it's something that I noticed the other day. Brogan was talking to me about it. What are your thoughts on stable coins? I mean, from my point of view, I don't think when you look at dominance, like Bitcoin dominance, I don't think you should take into account stable coins, because for me, they're not really a crypto asset.
No, it's just a crypto representation of like, it's like a one-to-one representation, not what it should be, a one-to-one representation of a real life asset.
Yeah, that's all it really is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not like it's its own, it's not like it's a node based proof of work, proof of stake type of thing. It's just a reference thing. It's not part of a project.
Nope.
It's not something you can invest in and it'll go up. It's not like an actual, it's not something you can take profits on. It's just a representation of something. It's an easy way to get in and out of things and to transfer, like MoonPay, whatever it's going to be, transferring real money. It's like, okay, I'm going to put in USDC. So it's just a representation of what you would have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to consider, because what's that test called?
Howey test.
Yeah, what's like? Isn't there one of the parts where it's like, I know you don't have to follow every single step of it, but one of them's like taking profits, like buying it in order to take profits on it.
Yeah, buying it with the expectation that the value is going to rise. Yeah. Now, the funny thing that you mentioned about that is that Gary Gensler and his cronies at the SEC accused BUSD, the Binance stablecoin, they accused them of being a security. So
Okay.
They shoot themselves in the foot quite a lot. SEC. We've got the news about obviously what happened with Grayscale. We've covered that a few days ago. And the issue with the SEC is they just make things worse by coming out with these nonsensical comments. Clearly, any stable coin is not there for
Profit taking.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's something to take into account. Now, the interesting thing is, we couldn't find a chart, could we?
Can't find it. We saw it somewhere, and we saw an actual bar chart or like a graph of the movement of stable coins and the dominance of it, the percentage held within the total monetary value of the crypto market.
Yeah.
We just couldn't find any of the charts, and the articles we looked up, they didn't really it referenced USDC and Ethereum, but it didn't reference what we wanted.
Exactly. So if anybody out there has access to a stablecoin dominance chart, I've looked on Glassnode, I've looked on TradingView, I can't find it anywhere.
We know it exists. We've seen it. But
it could be paywalled, paygated, whatever it's called. If you do find it, let us know. Now, we are shockingly behind.
How much?
Well, we've got 11 minutes left before the quiz. So what I suggest we do is we get onto the first article.
Adil says hi to Mike and Brogan. Hello, Adil. Hello to everyone. Hope everyone's doing really well. Hopefully, we've changed your life with this information. Hopefully, we've influenced you in a positive way. All right. Here we go. First article. We have 10 minutes left. It's always happened. We said yesterday as well, like, okay, we're going to spend only 10 minutes on Gala. We're not going to spend too long.
By the way, this is 25 trillion. It's got lots of zeros on. You need to change the screen, by the way. Otherwise, people have got no idea what we're looking at. Where were we? I'm going to go. I've got to go and just do something while you're doing this. Is this the Cathy Wood?
Oh.
What's next? Oh, is this Cowan?
Yep.
Okay, what's Cowan got to say for himself?
Is how far Bitcoin could fall in September, according to crypto analyst Benjamin Cowan.
Benjamin Cowan. I do like Benjamin, by the way.
Frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, his channel's called something like Into the Cryptoverse or something like that.
Right. Articles, the website's frozen.
So we've had a couple of bad months, crypto, and traditionally they're a lot worse than the end of the year. The end of the year we normally have a recovery.
There we go. perfect. Okay, so top crypto analyst Benjamin Cowen says that Bitcoin should see a major market correction next month based on its historical performance in September. Cowen tells his followers